Sometimes when I work on people's houses, they ask me to take a feature out of the house that's been there for a long time. Usually it's a door, like they're moving a door, they're trying to change a room around, so they want to take the door down. They want to take the door down and change the whole room or something. I mean, it's just what people do. They like to leave their mark, right? And so I always encourage people when they take a feature out of an antique house to keep the parts. I mean, if you're going to take the door down or take the cabinet down or take something down, keep the parts. And I put the parts in the basement up where they're dry, or I put them up in the attic where they're hot, and I keep all the parts. And so I keep them with the house. So instead of throwing a really nice antique door out on the curb and watching it go to the landfill along with a great lock set, I saved this stuff and I put it in the attic. And I think I'm crazy, because I'm like, who's going to care about that old door? Who's going to care about those old parts? And I think I'm kind of silly, but that's part of what I believe in as a person who preserves houses. I'm not a restorationist. I'm a guy that just takes good care of what's here. That's what I've fallen into naturally, and I like it. I'm lucky because there's a lot of people that are getting into this movement now, and it saves them a ton of money, and it keeps antique houses in great shape. So it's a good fit. So this week I came to this house and the customer asked me to pull the carpet out. Carpet was on a hardwood floor in this old living room, and in fact the whole house when she bought it was covered with this office, like this commercial office carpet, as if that was luxurious. And she said, this is the last room, pull this carpet up. So this week I came in and I pulled the carpet up and got started on that. And then she said, can you put the Inglenook back in? And I said, yeah, I can put the Inglenook back in. What's an Inglenook and how do you spell it? I didn't even know what an Inglenook was. And so come to find out, an Inglenook is this like little bench built into the corner over here, right here behind me. You can see where this corner is, and you can see this mark on the floor where the Inglenook used to be. And so the mark was under the carpet, and she said, put the Inglenook back in. And I was like, okay, I'll do my best to put the Inglenook back in. And then she took me downstairs and pointed out that there was a whole bunch of old parts, and you can see those standing up there, and I've started sanding them and cleaning them up, and some of the parts are missing. In fact, you see this panel here on the floor down low. That multiple panel right there was the front of the old Inglenook, and for some reason or another they sawed it up and stuck it back on the wall. I think there was a return air duct there, or some kind of a vent, or an opening of some sort. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but I'm going to leave it right where they put it. And so my job today, after going to the Google and looking up Inglenook to see what an Inglenook is to rebuild this Inglenook and put it back into place. I've started by gathering the parts up, pulling all the nails, chasing the spiders off, and sanding them out. Some of the veneer's a little loose because they got a little damp down in the basement, but that'll all clean up and glue back together, and everything's going to get a light coat of stain and a refinish anyway, so it's all good. So this week I'm going to post some pictures. I've got to make the oak panels to replace the front of the panels, and I'll probably have to make a new front of the seat out of 5/4 oak, all of which I have here in the shop. And it's great because I love my portable shop, because right here in this living room, I'm able to set up an entire shop. This is how I always do this. And it's part of what I love about this job, is being able to do this work right here in the job site. And of course, I coat all the walls with plastic, keep the dust down, keep it out of the rest of the house, keep the walls clean, that kind of thing. So this week, I'm going to rebuild this Inglenook. And I'll be able to add one more thing to my resume that I never even knew existed. And it's something as funny as an Inglenook. So I'm happy, and watch for pictures. I'll post some pictures. Have a great week.